Well, it's been a full day, but my Mac Mini is back up and running. It was dead, basically. I could not get it to boot yesterday, and the first thing I tried to do was boot into recovery mode, and that did work. I got the recovery screen, and I tried reinstalling Mac OS, which was Sequoia that I was running, and it wouldn't install. It went through all the motions and then it got to a certain point and it just got stuck. And then I tried it again. Same thing happened. So then I went into sharing disk mode and got all my data off of there. Even though I already have a Time Machine backup of this computer, I wanted to get my current video that I was working on that did not get backed up yet. So I was able to get that off of there and run disk utility on this drive, which I have installed. This is a third-party SSD, 4 terabytes for the M4 Pro Mac Mini that I got from m4boosthub.com. You can check those guys out, m4boost.com. I'll leave a link in the comment with a discount if you use my link. They're not cheap, I'll just tell you that right now. But regardless, I thought, maybe this had gone belly up, but Disk Utility said everything was working fine with the disk. So I figured perhaps I had auto update turned on my Mac Mini. And, normally I don't have that turned on. I always keep it turned off. But maybe it got turned on and I just don't know. I thought I had shut down the computer that night, but it might have tried to install Tahoe and glitched in the middle of the firmware update because it updates the firmware on the Mac Mini during the OS install process. So I really don't know what happened. All I know is I had to put the Mac Mini in DFU mode, and you do that by holding down the power button with it unplugged from power, and then while you're holding down the power button, plug it in, and then you got to connect it to another Mac, which was my MacBook Air. This is an M2 MacBook Air. And you have to do this process when you install a new SSD into the Mac Mini. So I was already familiar with it, and it wipes everything. It completely erases your drive. So what it does is it writes new firmware to the Mac Mini and installs whatever the current OS is. And because Tahoe came out on September 15th, it installed the firmware for Tahoe and it installed Tahoe. So I could not install Sequoia with that method. There is a way to get Sequoia back on there if I really wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it with Tahoe.